Miss Gang.
You too.
Same to you.
So, we might as well. I'm always a good guy at dealing with the white elephant in the room. The white elephant is, I know no more than you guys know. Tragedy, what's happened. If it's happened, like, I hear it's happened. It's really a shame. I don't know anything about any of the details. I'm not going to answer anything because I don't know anything. If I did, I'd tell you off the record. Jeremy is coming back tomorrow, and he'll be with us here, rehabbing here. And other than that, as far as the incident, there were 2 or 3 people, I guess, that were shot, but I don't know any of that. There's been no police report that I've had. And so if there's a question, I'll try to answer it, but if it's not, I'm going to tell you I'm not answering, so go ahead.
How much communication have you had with him?
Oh, I talk to him every day. I tried to fly over the day after and got fogged out of there and fogged out of everywhere. So I spent half my Christmas Eve on an airplane flying around in the sky.
It's secondary, but as basketball for this year is done, isn't it?
Well, it's. I guess it's not 100% done, but it's secondary, meaning, from what we hear, if it was a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, it could have been worse. But so in that respect, you're supposed to fully recover, but the timetable on that, anytime you're dealing with a bone, puts the timetable in jeopardy. But I really don't know what it was. When he comes up here, we're going to have a meet with our doctors and specialists, and then we'll probably know more early next week.
Well, I was going to say, what is that plan for the next couple of days for him? Just kind of assess?
Yeah, totally assess. Try to get some idea what happened, try to get some idea where his injury is. Our doctors have talked to the doctors in the emergency room there, but there's been no specialists that I know of that have looked at anything, and that's what we'll do when we get him here.
From a mental standpoint, how's he doing?
He's pretty mentally tough, and I mean, he wants to get back here. That's one thing he wanted to do. The second thing is, I think you're always good until you get back here and you see the guys playing and you realize you can't play. So, that'll be something that we're all going to be concerned with. But there's one thing he is physically and mentally tough.
You've gotten some tough news over the years. How difficult was this call to take?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't difficult to some because there were some that were deaths. But 5 a.m. to get that call, it was, I guess once in a while it's what's next. And yet, as I say that, there's a lot of people that are a lot worse off than him or me, and a lot worse off. And so I'm just happy, pray to God that he was alive and that everything was good. But as I said, what I've been through a few years ago, I think I can handle just about anything.
As far as how you guys move forward basketball-wise, larger role for Trey, is that kind of the main thing, or any other changes?
Yeah, I mean, as we always say, it's somebody else's opportunity, and Trey will be one, and we're getting more ready to play more in the perimeter. We're hoping, as you saw, our boy is back walking around shooting and everything, but he's still a week or so away, or I don't know exact timetable. Last time I thought I had a timetable, and so the timetable would be he's working out now individually. He does some of the shooting drills with us, and hopefully by next week he'll be starting to practice. That's the immediate timetable I have on Jackson.
Sir, AJ, do you try and keep his minutes around the same right now, or do you bump those a little bit?
You know what? I don't know, but I know that AJ played 35, 36 minutes in games at the end of last year. Tyson did, Jaden did. We're going to have a good rotation. We're just missing a guy that was really coming on, and it's the way it is. But AJ's been really good. He came back. Weight was good. He came back, I think, in pretty good shape. I've been really pleased with AJ. So if that keeps continuing, that'll really help.
At the end of last year, you moved Tyson over to the point in key games and key spots some of the time. Is that something for a while you'd like to stay away from in terms of how, because you're relying on so much off the ball? Or
yeah, the hard thing is I've talked to some NBA teams lately who's trying to play guys that are two guards in the point and stuff like that. It's hard to be a scorer and then you got to be the best defender. I mean, Cash could do it as a scorer
right.
and a passer. third part was suspect. And so, Tyson is my best defender. And we're just trying to, I'm not worried about Trey can play some point. Tyson can play some point. Our rotation, 5 guys is a good rotation. Cohen's just got to come on faster than he thought. Trey, thank God, has been playing really good for us, and he's been one of the bright spots of the season so far.
Is there a trickle down to Garrick being maybe more on the verge of being called up, or
yeah?
Not yet?
I threatened that a couple times. Now that we're shooting it better, as always, I got to think of my team. I got to think of the individual, and so that's not in the mix right now. He's, he just coming off his injury with the foot. Thank God he's practiced good these last 2 days, so a little break was probably good for him. But that's not in the plans immediately.
This holiday week, are practices better because there's no other things not to worry about, or are they worse because they're not in their routine?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I think, in all honesty, they used to be better. But now, kids keeping their attention span and what they got to do. I thought we were really good yesterday morning. Last night, the second practice, we weren't as good. Today, we were pretty good until the end. I think getting up and down. But players haven't changed in 100 years that they'd rather play games than practice. Coaches haven't changed in 100 years. They'd rather practice than play games. So that's the oxymoron of the whole thing. But it is nice that they can get in and get a little extra shots up and get in and have a few extra meetings. And I don't get handcuffed and brought to prison because I went an hour over the allotted time. So it's a pretty good deal.
I'm guessing you've been telling these guys in Indiana State what a threat they are.
Yeah, I don't know if any of you done any checking, but they're in the, they're in the top 20-some in the net. Their efficiency stuff is in the top. They're legitimate. They did lose to Alabama. Everybody says, well, they lost to the one Power 5 team they really played. That was without Avila, the center, who's, you could argue, is their best player, did not play in that game. So, this was... there's been scheduling things that but coming right back after Christmas, is, I said, the biggest upsets, and I'm not sure this is an upset anymore, but happened before Christmas and after. And, this is going to be a pretty stern test for right after Christmas. So people should know that we're going to need everybody here because this won't be the normal holiday game that you sometimes have. This is a team that has a lot of good players, has a unique system. They call him a poor man's Jokic, and I think he is. If you look at his assist, he's able to shoot the three. He can handle the ball. He goes between his legs, and he doesn't look like your typical superstar basketball player, but he is.
If you had Jackson a week later, might you throw him on the scout team?
It would really help. He would be the ultimate him, except he doesn't post as much. A lot of his stuff's on the perimeter, and an incredible team of backdooring. That ball, they go backdoor better than any team. Those passes are better than any team I've ever played against.
If that's true about Indiana State,